Evening everyone. Okay, I've got a fun head-to-head. So I have got today, which order are we starting? Let's start in date order. So Husqvarna L65, the slightly younger brother of the A65, which I think was in 68 or 69, and so this is a 65cc saw, non-chain brake, again using Husky's 48mm piston, and makes I think 3.8 horsepower. I'm pretty sure it is on paper 3.8 horsepower, and can run anything up to a 24-inch bar. Beautiful saw, non-AV mounted as such, although it has rubber mounts in two places on the main handle, and it's the kind of sprung plastic handle at the back, but spectacular engine, and apparently it revs up to about 7,000 RPM. Gorgeous. Cut with her occasionally, performs beautifully. Then in front I've got an American saw, the McCulloch. This is the Pro 1010 automatic. I've never cut with this saw, and this saw is 54 cc's and loads of variations on the 1010, and it's not a saw I'm very proficient on in terms of all their specs, but 54 cc, make approximately 1 horsepower less than the Huskies, so 2.9 horsepower, but strangely same RPM, maximum RPM 7,000 RPM, but strangely listed as can be running up a bar up to 28 inches. 54cc 2.9, 65cc a year earlier can run up to a 24-inch bar, but same maximum RPMs. Gorgeous saw, can't wait to try her. The chain and the bar are fresh as far as I know, but never ever cut with her, so that's going to be very interesting. And then I'm going to put her next to a saw which is about 22 years later. So this is the Husky Pro Saw 262 XP, has a decompression valve, and staggering really. So this is 4.8 horsepower, so you'll see the comparison: 2.9, 3.8, 4.8, 62 cc, so sits in the middle, 54, 62, 65, but strangely can only run up to a 20-inch bar, but free RPMs up to 13,500 RPM. So a screamer, beautiful Pro Saw, decompression valve, spectacular chain brake mechanism, full AV obviously, just a gorgeous running saw. So I thought it'd be fantastic to see how they cut back to back on some 13-inch timber. I'll take a couple of discs off of each. So I've never run the McCulloch before, just only started. So I'll take one disc with her just to make sure she's sharp and can cut, which I probably should have done before. And then we'll take 2 discs with each, and we'll see just what the space of 22 years and from 2.9 horsepower to 4.8 horsepower, what that really means in running for people using a saw every day. So I can't wait. So we're going to start with the 1010 just to see if she's sharp to cut. Of course, this engine is the same guts as the Danon 55s, exactly the same guts, just a different chassis. And I'd probably say certain aspects like the pull start housing I prefer on the McCulloch, but some of the other finishing touches I prefer on the English saw. Okay. Running a Windsor bar, and it's 20 inches, 18 inches and 16 inches. Okay, here we go. Bit of choke, he says. Okay guys, well, she cuts beautifully straight, and I'd say she was relatively sharp. The guide bar, just like on my Husky, the L65, has been on one of my perpendicular grinders, so the rails have been redressed, and I checked the depth gauges, the rakers, they're all good. So let's see how we go then. So I'll start with the McCulloch. We'll put 2 discs on. On paper it should be the 262 followed by the L65 followed by the 1010 if you go by power. I'll be very interested to see really how these two run against each other. It's had very little use, the 262, as had my L65, so let's see how they run. Okay. Okay, she cuts well. For a 54cc engine, I think she cuts really well, and the discs are clean. I meant to say she struggles to start because the throttle lock, the little plastic clip on the throttle lock is broken, rather frustratingly, so I'm looking for another one for her for that. So that's the 1010. And okay, that's a gorgeous screaming engine, so nice. So what should we run next? The 65 or the 2? Okay, let's run the 262. We'll run in cc order. Okay, this thing's an annihilator. Kill switch. Okay, well, again, spectacular and spectacular. Like, definitely quicker than the McCulloch 1010, I would say. Strangely, there's strange characteristics on the engines where they rev so much harder, and they just don't feel like they carry the same torque because the stroke of the piston is shorter. Right, that's the 262, and then for the 65cc, the dark horse entry. This is the L65. I can't wait to see how this performs back to back. Okay guys, wow, that's really interesting. So I'd say the L65 is amazingly slightly cleaner cutting, and she's only 3 cc's bigger in capacity to the 262, but up to 22 years older, and I'd say she cuts better. I say the L65 outperforms the 262. I'll have to go back and watch the video again, but well, incredible. I'll take one more disc with each. And that was through as well. Those last cuts were through some really nasty knots where the branches were coming out the side, and the L65 you could just see was just biting as it was pulling through. Incredible. All right, I'll run them in reverse order. We'll start with the L65 again, and then we'll move on to the 262 and then the McCulloch. Kill switch. Okay. Fantastic. 262. Wow, I can't, okay, I genuinely couldn't tell from that. I felt like the 65 is far more tolerant in the wood. Obviously spectacular again. Yeah, very strange. Okay, and now back onto the 1010 again. Hey guys, well, gotta say, I think in third place, as I would have probably, and most people would have guessed, it's the 1010. Still beautiful saw, cuts beautifully, absolutely screaming engine. Has the baffle of the exhaust is slightly broken on this one, so it's a bit louder than normal, but it's a tiny exhaust on the Pro 1010s, and they are very, very loud. So lovely cutting saw, beautiful. But then between the two Swedish saws, I'll watch the video on playback, but I'd have to say on paper the 262 was quicker. but actually cutting. I fancy the L65 was slightly faster. It felt faster, but that might just be because maybe the engine was a little bit lazier and I could feel it pulling. But okay guys, hope you enjoyed that. That's the McCulloch 1010 1974 or 75, the Husqvarna L65 1974, and up to 1996 the Husqvarna 262 XP Pro saw. Thanks for watching guys, love to hear any comments. Stay safe out there. Bye for now.